questions?
It's just too weird without it starting with a good practice.
Well, we've changed that. Our new format.
How's your service?
All the energy and all the tonight, thinking about having night practices now?
Well, I don't think we'd ever be able to get to night practices. But there's been a lot of thought put into the afternoon practices, like the previous format. So we'll look at it after the season. That's got nothing to do with being 7 and 5. It's the same way we're 10 and 2. So I think it's just looking at the overall, energy. Sometimes those days are rough. When kids are getting up at 5 a.m. There's a lot of good things to it. So we'll look at it again.
Why couldn't it work instead if you started at 6 or 7? Why does it always have to be a 4 o'clock start time for afternoon practice?
Well, just from where the block happens of where you start, and then night tutoring, coming back to it. Our kids on that old format, 2 to 6 was basically blocked, and there was night tutoring when people were available for it. So I guess that's why.
Are you guys actively exploring a move?
Well, yeah, we're thinking about it. I mean, I've been thinking about it. But like I said, we're not going to do anything till after the season on moves. But it's definitely been a thought, just seeing their energy out here, and but also there's other variables in that too. They also just had 2 days off as well, so and they're more rested in general.
This is the most probably energy they've had there for a series of practices, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. For 5 practices, especially the last 3, this is the best they've been, and I think a lot of that, I hope a lot of that has having to do with what we talked about. When they had a little break and they came back about stop living in the past and stop talking about what we could have done different in this play, and this guy could have caught this guy could have made this tackle, and our record be this, or we call this play, and so we don't really like going back and talking about this stuff. It's over. We can't change it. No matter what happens, we're 7 and 5. We have to accept that. So let's move forward and let's finish really strong. Get back out playing football, and then have a good time doing it. Which is what a lot of these guys started playing football in the first place.
Some of your guys have requested NFL evaluations, and they're waiting to get those back. Have you talked with any of them yet about that kind of stuff, or do you wait till they get that stuff?
No, I talked to the two. I talked to Nickel and Robert right away, the evaluation coming back will be part of the decision-making process there. And so, just like every year, we always have a couple guys. Last year, we had 4 guys that I met with right after the season, just to make sure that we discuss everything and how we're going to go about the decision-making process.
Have any concern that kind of stuff is on their mind as they're getting ready for the bowl game? I mean, do you have to guard against that at all? Or?
No, I think that it just is. A lot of times they've kind of, even though they're waiting for evaluation, kind of made up their minds anyway. So we'll get them back and just keep talking to them and figure out their decisions.
Do you think it would be best for both of them to come back?
I have told them both what I think, just like always. But until after they make a decision, I don't really, tell you guys what I said on that. But I've told both what I think, and we'll see.
In talking to Nickel, he said, from what he knows about Georgia Tech, that SC's defense is either going to do really well or really poorly. Do you agree with that assessment, and why?
Well, that usually is what happens. You either play well or you don't. So
he said there's no middle ground, nothing like that.
Well, I don't know that. That probably comes off of the speech today about showing the different games, to our defense and what happens. Some people come in with the right mentality and really go about it. They're very aggressive and they embrace the challenge of playing it. And I think as you look at some teams, as you watch the film, it looks more like they just kind of don't want to play it. Worried about all the cut blocks and everything. And that's why you see, I'm not going to say which team, but it's very easy to look at. You see very different numbers in a few games, and then in some other games, some unbelievable numbers and then some very reasonable numbers.
Will Matt, any chance at all he practices before you guys get down to El Paso?
No, that's not been part of the plan. The whole plan is to get down there. Even though we have now game planned and installed, we'll go back over it again down there, and so that would be plenty of time for him, I think.
Is he keeping up with the game plan and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How was the first day of trying to implement Georgia Tech's offense with your service team?
It was interesting. We're glad we have a lot of time. I don't know how people do it in 1 week. We've obviously had a lot of time to get to this point with our staff, and now to get to the players. And the hardest thing is to get the service team to do it right, much like when you play in Oregon, more than actually how you play everything. And so it was a little growing process today, but we'll keep going. I think it was good. We were very aggressive. We made the period live down there, which is very unusual to do. So we'll keep plugging away.
Can you talk about who's playing quarterback for the scout team in this situation?
Yeah. We used a kid, Robert Mujica, down there, and we just tried to kind of fit guys that were somewhat similar to their guys, with as much time to get ready for it. Yep.
Any extra kind of bowl activities that you guys have for them other than when they get down there?
We're trying to do things. We kind of have a premiere movie thing, I think, tomorrow night. The next night we're going to go to my house for dinner and into the Clippers game after that. So we're just trying to create some things.
You're going to have the whole team and staff at your house?
Yeah, I think we're going to leave the staff here so they can watch the film. But yeah, we're going to have the team there and give them their bowl gifts and then go to the Clippers game from there.
Have you ever done that before? Well, I guess you didn't have a bowl game to go to.
Didn't have a bowl game. Yeah, I didn't have a house. I was renting. So it'll be interesting.
Are you, this is a random question, is Trey Madden on track to be ready for spring ball?
Yes. Yeah, we believe that he definitely will. He's on the Adrian Peterson plan.
You could have been back already.